you see me? Yeah, it's freezing. I don't know what's like in Milan. It's like the first cold day here. So at least there's snow on the ground. 1 year, Australia, where the tombstone is, the snow was that high. It's almost 3 feet high. Yeah, you couldn't find the tombstone. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, my name is Madeline Rarig. I'm an artist. I have a studio in Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania, which is about 40 minutes from his grave. That's where I'm going right after this. That's where I do the work. And like what I did this morning, I came up here, and in this pink envelope, people can leave notes for Andy, which there was one today. And I have probably over 1,300 notes now from all over the world. I've been saving them, and then I'm selecting them for a book I'm working on. That's going to cover several years of this project. It started in 2009, so we'll be getting up to the 8th year, I think. Yeah, it came out of my own personal reasons come to Andy here because of my artwork. And then, when you go to school, because you're in school now, right? And so you have to come up with art projects for each semester. So I was talking to him a lot up here about my art project. And, I was in school. This is for an MFA. And then my last semester, instead of writing a research paper, you have to write about your process, like how and why you make art. And I told the faculty I was going to write about my conversations with Andy. And everybody was silent. And then they said, Andy who? I said, Andy Warhol. They go, he's dead. How are you talking to him? I go, I thought it was great. And then at that moment, I realized this is my artwork. So that's what I did for the last semester, was not only write the paper, but I had to come up with conversations with Andy to graduate. So I came back to the grave and I said, Andy, you're it. I got to graduate. So I got to think of something. She's grown. I just thought I would graduate and move on. She came so, I don't know, it just interested me so much. And it became a lot of connections with so many different people and their who they think Andy is and what they say to him. It was just too interesting to stop. So I left with the project from school. You have anything to say to Andy? It was a personal connection through his work, because at the time I was doing work with death and disaster, and with my own work, and so I'd come and talk to him at the grave to get direction, like to get some advice, and he was always really right on with what he suggested. It doesn't like he talks to me, but I just get like images, or I get a prompting, or I get something that directs me in a way, and it's all been very helpful. So as I said, I was at school, and that's what I wanted to write my paper on, which I did through all the projects that I worked on, art projects, and then it just kept going, and then finding out I'm not the only one who comes to his grave. Many thousands of people come, and they ask him all kinds of things, not just help with their artwork, but life situations, and or else they knew him in New York, or they knew him in Pittsburgh, or or just something about him that relates to them, whether gender, whatever's going on with them, trying to figure out who they are in their life, relationships gone bad. Yeah, that'll all be in my book. So that's what I'm working on. It's really, it's controlling me. I'm not telling it what to do. Yeah, he's here. I think he enjoys people coming. We had a psychic come one time, and he spoke a little bit about enjoying the people who come. And he's touched a lot of people. Even soldiers that were in Afghanistan. I met a Afghanistan, she was on leave, and about seeing Andy Warhol's work there in Afghanistan and how it put smiles on people's faces in that terrible place. So yeah, he's everywhere, you know. So that's what I discovered through this project is like different Andys. You know, Andy Pittsburgh, people who knew him. Yeah, and because they knew him when he was little or at school. There was a woman who wrote a note about kids throwing stones at him while he was walking to school. And, things like that people have some memory of him in Pittsburgh. Then he leaves and goes to New York. So there's the New York people, Andy New York. And then there's Andy Afterlife, which is like Saint Andy. We'll bring, there's a candle today. And, help me with, like you would visit a saint. And bring an object, usually a soup can. Oh, I can't tell you how many objects have been up here. Oh yeah, no, I don't collect them. His nephew Donald Warhola, who's Andy's brother's son. So Andy was the youngest of three brothers. So Donald comes and he cleans up the graves. He takes care of the family grave. And then through this project, I learned, I met Donald. And so now we probably meet and talk at least twice a month. And he'll be up next week. And then, anything there, he'll say, do you want it? Because otherwise he has to throw it out because it's just too much. You can't keep everything. So in my studio, I have a section of like the Andy Shrine. I mean, there's so many things there. Yeah, it's like a shrine in my studio to Andy as well, with all the stuff that people left, and not all of it, but that still was in pretty good condition. And so when I launch the book at the Warhol, when it's done, I'm gonna bring all that out and maybe raise money for charity with it or something. I can't keep all this, because people left it for Andy. He can't use it, so maybe somebody else could use it and raise money for charity. Yeah, so this thing is just going along here, and it's which I really like. And no matter what happens in my life, he's always here, and there's always this community of people. And then if somebody's not well or something's happened, you get people who are concerned about that person. Like there's a man, somebody who wrote about not being well, and then he was down to cigarettes and basically nothing. So then people were wondering, who is he? Where is this person? So we found him on Facebook, and he's a jazz musician. He's doing okay now. Oh, I think he'd love it because he likes being the center of attention. And it was after 3 years of doing this project, 3 or 4 years, that the Warhol Museum decided, gee, there's so many people coming up here through the project that maybe we need to put a camera up here. And the cemetery okayed it, and family, nobody, opposed it. Yeah. So in 2013, on Andy's birthday party up here, we launched it with EarthCam. And EarthCam met me in New York about it because they wanted to include the project on their site, which I think it's still there. And so I keep in contact with them, and if somebody wants a soup can, I'll bring a soup can, put it on Andy's grave for them from her. So I'm kind of in that loop too. Everybody thought Andy would love it because he was about this. Look what he did with his films and his screen test. Those screen tests he did and the photo booths. I mean, yeah. No, he's not. He's different than other celebrities as far as that's concerned. So, and it's kind of nice to have the security here, because this is on 7/24. So at least if something happens, you can see, what happens, which we have had to do a few times. Donald Warhola, for Andy's death anniversary, Donald Warhola wanted to cover it with Mylar, his tombstone with Mylar as a death memorial. And I met him up here, we covered it, and then it was ripped off, like the next day, like, well, who did that, So we saw the person who came to it, and it's fine. I mean, it's a public domain. People can do whatever they want, And then another time, another woman knocked over another tombstone that had nothing to do with Andy, but yeah, things like that. I mean, something could happen up here, who knows? Nothing has happened to me, but just little things like that, but at least you have it. And EarthCam can find it in their archive, even though it may not be up on their live site. Yeah, so, and I feel better, too, because I'd be up here by myself, or meeting people. People come at night, and, yeah, so it's fine. And so far, it's been working pretty well. Yeah, we haven't had anyone complaining or making comments about anything, so, right. And when we have our parties, like the birthday party, and probably Christmas Eve, we'll sing carols here, so I'll post it on Facebook and people can watch wherever, The thing is, they can't hear you. Thank you for contacting. So let me know how this goes, and then I'll show Andy, Bye-bye.